is employed. A young woman who, excuse me, a young woman who is 14 who struggles with mental health issues is being raised by a grandparent who is 70 years old. They make SSI, which is they make $532 a month. Both parents are incarcerated because of their own substance abuse issues. Today, my paper's sticking. Today, she's been diagnosed, is receiving medication, attends the girls-specific classes, and maintains her depression. We have seen so much success at the center, and we know that many, many, many more kids are coming. When the need is really, really high, resources are decreasing, and we're seeing many faces of poverty due to families who have lost their homes, who have lost their health care, and financial security. It's a time where nonprofits are really struggling and really need your help. Today I want to present this challenge to you because I believe this is a community issue, and I know that you are all champions of children. And here's what I want you to leave with today, is some things like this. What if today every student enrolled at the center achieved academic success, seeking higher education, and could secure employment for success? What if today students and families could strengthen their family relationships and reduce conflict within their homes? What if today we could identify mental health and substance abuse issues early and raise awareness on these? What if a student could find affordable, positive alternatives for healthier lifestyle, such as the arts, theater, sports, and music? What if today each family could find a mentor and a family support system through our faith community, because I think that is critical. And what if today businesses would come forward to provide internships and job shadowing for the families? I believe this can all be achieved because you are all here. And I hope that you can help all of the kids that we have at the center because they need you. That's 5 minutes.
We appreciate you and your commitment so much for what you've done. And I just imagine if the center didn't exist, the lives that would have had maybe a different direction. One of the things, Lori, when we met, you mentioned to me that you've had an 84% success rate, which is very significant in that their records are wiped clean, because if they've gone through your program, then they can have a fresh start. And I think that's pretty significant as well, don't you? So thanks, Lori, once again. Well, our next speaker is one of the jewels in northern Colorado that we have. I can tell you about Sonny Ludwig's 6 championships in the Mountain West Conference. His career went from 1993 to 2007. He's been Citizen of the Year, Father of the Year. He's been recognized by so many organizations because of all that he and Carol Joe have given back. And when he got out of, got out of football a few years ago, he could have gone anywhere that he wanted to go to retire. But fortunately, he stayed right here. And we're glad that you're right here, right now, Sonny. So let's give a big welcome to Sonny Ludwig.
Well, there we are. Thank you very much. I guess Lori said she'd been thinking about getting me to speak for a long time, and I said that I was the only guy left on her list. But I have to thank you, and very impressed with the remarks, Lori, and having the opportunity to go through your program there and look at some of the things you've done, and a lot of things come to mind, and I'll skip around like I usually do. I usually shoot from the hip, and I usually don't read my speeches because I remember being at a church with my mom, and the priest was up there reading his homily, and she says, if he doesn't know what he's talking about, how does he expect us to remember it? So I try to keep that, but there are a couple good points came up here about Lori, and says this about our community. And what I used to think struck me as I sat there, I used to tell our teams all the time, you know, when the sea rises, when the team gets better, all the boats rise. I know you've all heard that. and we all get better, and we all feel better about ourselves. And I think that's the challenge that Lori has sent out to us today, is that this is not for, and it's easy, talk is easy. And other things, as a coach for 50 years, I've done this. I was talking to Shelley back there earlier when I came in here. I was an English teacher, believe that or not. None of my students knew that, but for 50 years I coached football and was a teacher. And as you get through with this, a lot of things come to mind. I've had a chance to reflect on some things, but I came across this the other day having a chance to do a little bit more reading. I'm kind of paraphrasing here. I think it goes good for our community. It goes good for anybody, but remember this, some Jesuit priests said it in a lot more eloquently than I did, that we all know that armies, organizations, and teams work best when they value, respect, and trust one another and sacrifice their own self-interest for the success of their colleagues. The best teams we ever had were those teams where they put the needs of their teammates before their own. And I think we can see here what Lori's done, what she's doing, and it goes on to say, individuals, and all of you people are businessmen out here. And I guarantee you, I know it works because it took me a long time, and I always think of the success that I never use the success we had here at Colorado State, just had so many people help. And it was a we thing. It's not an I thing. And I could see when Lori talked about her team, you have to have a team. But individuals work best, the students work best when they are valued, respected, and trusted by someone of significance. And that's what these kids need. They need someone to trust them. And I just know that from working with our football teams for 48 years. I still think I'm working with them, although I've not been around for the last 3 or 4. My wife told me when I came here this morning, she always gives me my points. She says, "You better watch out what you say." I said, "What can they do, fire me?" They can't do that. But I remember another thing here. I like Bill's introduction here. You guys got to loosen up a little bit. Bill's introduction, that was great. Thank you. Thank you very much for the fine introduction. It was much better than the one I had about a week ago over in the College of Business. I still do some speaking over there. And one of the young girls was introduced. She introduced about 4 or 5 speakers. I was the last one. We each had a 5-minute speech. And she says, "It says here, our next speaker needs no introduction." I hope that's true because I don't know who he is. And we have to pray to the dear Lord to keep us humble. The waiter in here just told me, one of that young boy, I don't see him in here now, I asked him for some coffee. He said, "Coach, you're the second best coach I just want you to know that I think you're the second best coach in the country." I said, "Thank you." That made me feel good. And as he walked away, I said, "Hey, who's first?" He said, "The other 100. That just makes you last." You got to have a sense of humor in this. And again, I was thinking about what I should say in behalf of Lori and community outreach. And I didn't know what outreach was. I don't know if that's a new term. I guess it's not. But I don't know if many of you know what I've done after my coaching career. I had a couple opportunities. I was never going to work again, and I was just going to take it easy and go golfing. Well, I don't like to golf because I can't break 100. Maybe that's the reason. But I got 2 job offers, and both of them, they're funny things. One was Public Service Credit Union. I don't know if you know that. They came and said, "We'd like you to be our Dave Logan and do some commercials for us and do this and do that." I said, "No, I don't think I'll do it." And then they came a second time and they asked me, I said, "Okay, what would you like me to do?" I said, "But I can't do a lot of work." That's a pretty good deal. I said, I got some other things to do on weekends. I still like to follow football and do things. He said, no. I said, well, one thing I want. I don't want you to have an office. I don't want an office, and I don't want a title. Well, they made me vice president. I don't know how to write a check. And they also gave me an office, a big office. And they gave me a title, which is outreach for something. Then the College of Business called me up and said, we'd like you to come over here and help us out over here. I said, what can I help? I've never taken a business class, and if I did take one, I'd flunk it. But anyway, they said, come over. I got an office over there and a title. And I guess it goes south. Not only all you see, I never pass out the cards. It's the same thing, community outreach. But this is the best outreach right here. Helping kids, helping children, helping them do everything. So I was thinking, what can I say? All my experience has been for 50 years, really now. I started, you guys figure out the math here, Bill, I'll throw one back at you. My first day of coaching and teaching as an English teacher was in 1960. That was my first year. And that's all the experience I've ever had in coaching and teaching. What is it then? I know I'm not qualified to do much more than that, but and I've always wanted to, just like Lori. I could see that, and I could see the people in this room. And as I kind of bounce around here, I look at my career over 50 years, and I kind of look at what one of Confucius is saying, and it says, find a job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. And I was pretty lucky. In fact, I would have worked for nothing, but as long as they were paying me, I'll take the money. And I think like most of you, and I think like Lori and her staff, it's helping people and doing things and seeing them achieve and success. And it's not about anything else. As we get older, we find that out. When we first got out, we think, we got to make some money, we got to do this. Easy for you to say, but you find out now in life, it's about your friendships. It's about relationships. It's about the love you have. And I guess I say to me, football has brought some of the, just like all of us in our jobs, football has brought some of the crushing lows of defeat, as well as some of the ecstatic victories. And looking back, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I can remember, like most of you in here, some of the games. I used to tell my secretary, this email is something new. I guess it's not new. It's new for me anyway. I don't use it. I still call up on the phone. But I do get some emails from Linda, my secretary, used to bring them in to me, and she said, "You've got a lot of emails here." I read it. First couple times I read it, some of them weren't so darn good. I say, "Linda, from now on, just bring me the good ones." And that's what she did from that point on. But I remember our game, when I think about the good things, the game at Arizona, which probably kind of set things up for Colorado State. And I look back and think of the people when we went down and played Arizona, and it's like these young people. I looked at my team here, this is my team out here, and I looked at them in the locker room here at CSU. We didn't even have a team room at that time. We didn't have anything, and that's why we were probably so damn good. We didn't have air conditioning at those days over there, but I had a group of players in front of me who believed in their coaches, believed in their teachers, believed in their mentors. And I don't know how many of the ladies remember this, but we went down there and we defeated the University of Arizona, who in the preseason Sports Illustrated were ranked the #1 team in the nation. And we went down there and beat them. I think the score was something like 22-16. But what I remember of that, and I know what Lori and her staff and everybody in this room, as we went into that little locker room after the game, we were probably one of the biggest upsets of the football season that year. And it was a great thing for Colorado State and for our community. And I can still see the smiles on my friend's face in there who happened to be down here, because we were using we stayed at their hotel, which was the Rockies, about their first year, second year down in Tucson where they're training. And there in that locker room with the biggest smiles that I've ever seen was Jerry McMorris, Fum McGraw, and Kelly McGregor, some of the people who have helped me through everything in my lifetime. They were always there, always gave us, and I think of that so often. I can still see their faces. And we went back to the hotel, and we stayed up the entire night just celebrating and being happy. And I know we got back to the hotel, it was about midnight, and one of my coaches who's in charge of discipline Said, all you guys you got 1 hour to be back in. I said, don't worry about it. Come on, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, the bus is leaving. And they were all there. What is coaching? Coaching's getting the best out of people, just like everyone in this room are coaches. Parents, mothers, they're the best coaches. It's helping our kids. I was reading things as I skip around here. Parent Magazine asked mothers, just came, it was about 2 years ago, what would you like your son or daughter to be in high school? What would you like them to get out of high school? Not one of them said, I'd like him to be the best student. I would like him to be the best athlete. I want my son or daughter to be a good, respectful, honest citizen and have some spirituality about them. And isn't that true? Sometimes we forget that. We think, oh, my kid did this and my kid did that. None of that matters. It's about what kind of a person are they and who are they. Coaching, I said, is Zig Ziglar. If we help enough people get what they want, then we get what we want. As these kids get better, we're going to get better. All of us in business are helping each other, building a relationship, and working as a team. After all, we're all in the same team. And as teachers and coaches, we help each other get the best and do the best that they can. And I always told our coaches, win their hearts, and they'll follow you anywhere. And I think it's so important that that's a part of it. People ask me, what is coaching? I don't know what it is, but I know it's teaching. It's getting the best out of each student. It's making them better than what they thought they could be. And seeing them for what they can be, not for who they are. As I used to go into the homes in recruiting players and look into their eyes and see them as 17-year-old seniors, and then every person we ever brought in, we could see something better. We're going to get something better out of this person. We could see them as all conference people as sitting there as 17 or 18-year-old. As teachers and coaches, we don't tell them how to do it. We show them. We demonstrate. We do everything we can to get the best out of them. See, because if the team loses, they don't fire the team, they fire the coach. And so it's pretty important for us. We can't just I can't as a teacher just give them an F and go on to my next class.